In 1908, you could do something that sounds like insanity today. You could crack open a single book, fill out one form, slip in a check for $1,000, and receive by mail a house. Not a dollhouse. A real 2-story mansion with 4 bedrooms, an oak staircase, and a fireplace. It arrived in a boxcar, 30,000 parts, down to the nails, the paint, and the instruction manual. Sears wasn't just a store. In the early 20th century, 1% of the entire U.S. gross domestic product flowed through their catalog. Adjusted for economic share, that's bigger than Amazon and Walmart combined today. They called it the Consumer's Bible. The thick Sears catalog sat in every American home, in every kitchen, often right next to the Holy Scripture. Farmers in the boondocks taught their kids to read using product descriptions in that book. To rule this empire, they built the tallest building in the world, the Sears Tower in Chicago. 110 floors of black steel and glass. 110 floors of absolute retail power. They owned Allstate Insurance, a brokerage, and Discover credit cards. They knew everything about an American's life, from his shoe size to the color of his roof. But look at this footage from 2018. Empty shelves, dirt on the floor, pathetic store closing signs taped to the windows. In October 2018, the giant filed for bankruptcy. An empire that survived 2 world wars, the Great Depression, and oil crises, was destroyed by its own leadership. Today, the Sears Tower still stands, but the company is gone. Of 3,500 thriving stores, fewer than 24 zombie locations remain. But the cruelest irony of this story lies in a single date. In 1993, they shut down their catalog business, deeming mail-order trade obsolete. Exactly 1 year before Jeff Bezos launched Amazon using that exact same model. They held a winning lottery ticket in their hands, but they crumpled it up and threw it in the trash. This isn't a tragedy about technology. It's a tragedy about hubris. Sears didn't die because people stopped buying hammers and jeans. They were killed by one specific man, a Wall Street financier who decided a store could be run like a hedge fund, sucking the blood out of it to the last drop. Part 1. Origins, Watches in the Railroad. The story of Sears began not in a store, but at a train station. Richard Sears was a simple agent in Minnesota. He saw how the system worked. Local rural general stores marked up prices 3 or 4 times. Farmers hated them, but they had no choice. One day, Sears bought a batch of watches a local jeweler had refused. He used the telegraph and trains to resell them directly, without the markup. In that moment, he understood the main thing. If you cut out the middleman, you can make a fortune. In 1893, he teamed up with watchmaker Alva Roebuck. Their idea was revolutionary. They offered farmers the chance to buy goods directly from a massive warehouse in Chicago. It was the world's first direct-to-consumer model. They invented Amazon 100 years before the internet. But there was a problem. Trust. How do you get a farmer in Iowa to send money to a stranger in Chicago without seeing the goods? Sears came up with a brilliant slogan that changed commerce forever. Satisfaction guaranteed, or your money back. In an era of a wild market, where fraud was the norm, this sounded like a religious revelation. People believed. They started sending him cash in envelopes without even seeing the merchandise, because they knew Richard Sears keeps his word.